What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you're having a great start to your Monday morning and work week. I'm here to give you an update. It looks like it's going to be another long week of doubling up my videos throughout the week, as it does look like there is something to track that could potentially be an impactful system for the eastern U.S. I'm talking about maybe areas of the southeast all the way up to the northeast. There's a lot to discuss here in the coming days, but as y'all know, in the mornings, all we're going to do is simply break down the overnight model guidance and the morning model guidance. We're not going to get very specific. All we're going to do is give you the latest update information, and then in the evenings we'll get more detailed about how this is unfolding, what the storm system looks at, dynamics of the situation. So remember that as we're rolling here. If you guys have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button for me. Like the video if you like it. A great way to stay up to date is through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. You know, that's a great way to stay up to date on the hour every 2 hours, where I'm constantly giving updates on an unfolding situation if you don't want to wait to the next video. So thank you all for the amazing support. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below so we all can pray for one another here. So I'm not going to keep you guys long. We're going to look at the GFS, the European, the Canadian model, the Icon, some of the ensembles, and then we're going to let you roll on out here. But here's what we got going on. The latest GFS, remember everything you see in my videos, it's not a set in stone forecast. It's just one run, some guidance, it's model guidance. We look at all. But model guidance has trended west overnight. So in this situation where yesterday you were having more of an out to sea scenario, or just kind of a coastal glider here, things are trending more west. So the latest GFS is kind of unrealistic to a degree because it has this massive precipitation field stretching from Florida to Maine. I just don't see nothing like that happening. But this is the latest model. It's ticked west. You look at the run previous to that, previous to that, and then previous to that. Obviously, it's getting a little bit closer to the coast. So this shows snow all the way from central Georgia all the way up to Maine in one time frame, which would be Saturday morning. It's just not realistic to me. But somewhere in this time frame, as you're getting overnight Friday into Saturday morning, someone can be experiencing an impactful storm system. And I really think this is trending to a scenario where there is going to be a storm system. But if you took the GFS as if it's going to happen, which you shouldn't, it's just one scenario, this would bring a swath of accumulating snow from South Carolina all the way to Maine. And then you go to the next time frame, which would be late Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. It would bring pretty much an all-out blizzard for areas of the interior northeast, and you keep this going here. The GFS is a little different. It kind of wants to plow the low pressure into southern New England, so that would keep Boston a lot of heavy rain as opposed to heavy snow and blizzard type conditions. But this moves on over, turns into a big impactful storm for Maine as you're getting into Sunday evening, and then plows the low pressure deep into Maine, and then that's all she wrote with it. Very impactful storm system if that was to happen. You look at the latest Euro, and as we're getting going here, we're rolling through time. We're getting into Friday. This coming Friday morning, here it comes, low pressure popping off right here. And then look at the snow breaking out over the mountains, West Virginia, areas of Kentucky, Virginia. You got two pieces of energy that's coming together, right? And then they really come together, but on the European, they come together a little bit too late for areas of the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast. But you have snow breaking out over the Outer Banks of North Carolina, the Delmarva area. It's a little too late for areas like Washington, D.C., Maryland, things like that. But it starts to impact areas like New Jersey. New York City would be on the most northwest fringe of the heavier snow. And then this tucks in a little bit further west and just brings an all-out blizzard. Blizzard as in strong winds and heavy snow to areas of southern New England. This would bring feet of snow to Boston if this was to happen. And then a very impactful storm for Maine also, and then getting into the Nova Scotia area. On the European scenario, it almost has a little bit of blocking on top, which slows the system down. But this would be a very impactful storm system. It really would, guys. You look at the Canadian model. The Canadian model is kind of what the scenario showed on the Canadian model yesterday around lunchtime. As you're getting into Friday morning, wants to bring an area of a wintry mix into areas of South Carolina and Georgia, which is kind of odd because this looks more like a Miller A, but it could be a 50-50 Miller B kind of storm. We'll have to watch that. Brings a wintry mix in South Carolina into Friday, and then it turns to all snow as far south as South Carolina. And I will mention, there's a lot of model guidance showing snow as far south as South Carolina. Now, I really don't, just my gut feeling tells me this is not going to be a South Carolina storm, but my gut feeling does tell me that North Carolina is definitely in the game. I could be totally wrong. Could be. But you got plenty of cold air funneling in. And I still think there's going to be more of a temperature issue with this, more marginal temperatures. But as this is going in, it turns into a significant storm system. The Canadian model is really like the GFS as far as plowing this low pressure into southern New England as you get into Saturday afternoon. It's actually almost identical to the GFS. It really is. But you look at the Icon. The Icon model is the only model that actually trended more out to sea. As you can tell, this is getting into the end of the Icon model. The low pressure is way out here. Plenty of cold air sinking southward, but the low pressure is way out here. Therefore, you get a whiff. You get a little bit of light snow in southern New England, and that's about it. So let's take a look at ensembles. What do we have here? Basically, ensembles is a bunch of runs put together on one single run to create a mean. So all these numbers you see are potential placements of where low pressures could be as early as overnight, Friday into Saturday. So this is around actually Friday evening right here. So look at all these numbers. You look how close they are to the coast. You go about 4 runs back, 1, 2, 3, 4. And first off, look how scattered they are. You know, they're not as consolidated at all. So I'm going to click the button and go to the most present ensemble run for the GEFS ensembles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look how they all trend a little slower, and then they all trend closer to the coast. That would mean more impacts on land as opposed to out to sea scenario. So it's just something we have to watch. It really is. We'll see how this unfolds, but you look at GEFS ensembles from this morning, and this is what you got just as we roll it through the entire storm, and that's a strong signal for Maine. I mean, you got over a foot showing up in Maine from an ensemble run for a system that's still about 3 to 4 to 5 days away for this area, about 4 to 5 days up for this area. But this is a strong signal for even areas of eastern Tennessee, eastern Kentucky, the entire state of Virginia, a lot. I would say 80% of North Carolina, and you even have a mean showing up in the Carolinas. You do. This is a pretty decent signal for these areas. And even, you know, a little bit of a signal thrown back into Georgia and Alabama. But man, this is a strong signal for you folks in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast especially. And even in the North Carolina, it really is for some kind of winter storm. It really is. You look at the European ensembles from overnight, we are already getting to the range where we can start looking at the short range Euro, which is the 18Z, and an 06Z, which is probably about to come out here. And not as bullish for areas further south into North Carolina, the Carolinas, and really Virginia, but still a crazy signal for areas like southern New England, New York City, Boston. Boston especially almost has a foot mean here. And Maine, it just really looks like a big-time Maine storm for sure. But that's all I got, guys. There's really no point in going really much deeper than that. All I can say is I really think this will be a big system for areas of the Northeast. I really think it will. But this could be a bigger system for areas more south too. It really could, as this system is really cranking up and cold air gets involved. So that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Told you I wouldn't keep you long. I didn't lie to you this time. Sometimes I say that in the videos will drag on for 20 minutes. But y'all have a great Monday, and I'll talk to you this evening. We'll get a little bit more detail, talk about individual cities and what these ensembles are showing for each cities and things like that. But God bless y'all. Have a great day.